when it comes to, potentially you giving advice to a new realtor, someone that just, stepped into the game and is learning the ropes and stuff like that, dealing with online lead generation as a first time thing, it's going to have its fair share of stresses, going to have its fair share of failures, stuff like that. What would you kind of point out? What would you single out as the thing that you need to focus on the most? What would be your, let's say, key to success in your opinion?
I don't even know if I'm qualified because, how do we define success? If we define success as being cash flow positive, I'll let you know when I get there. But um, but yes, so I think, okay, so a couple of things. I think the first thing that I
Hmm.
would say, it's not as hard as you might think.
Hmm.
It's not difficult. All you're doing is you're picking up the phone and you're calling people that you don't know yet. But
Right.
within 5 seconds of being on the phone with them, they're no longer a stranger. Now you're having a conversation with just another person. And
Hmm.
so it's not as hard as you think. It's easy to be scared of making the call, especially if you've been burned by a couple of hangups or, you know,
Hmm.
um, it's easy, and that of course still happens. So what do you do if you have to face rejection? Well, you find a way to cope with it. And my way of coping with rejection is I mean, there's a little bit of meditation. It's
Okay.
summertime, so
Awesome.
I might walk away from the office and go sit outside for 10 minutes and just breathe in the beautiful sunshine, and then I go back to
Hmm.
work. But I think the most important thing for me is not to try to force it if I'm
Hmm.
not in a moment of inspiration. Do you know what I'm saying? So
Absolutely.
I know that sounds like a little frou-frou and a little out there and a little, I don't know, new age maybe. Do people still say new age? But if you are going into a conversation and your energy is not in the right place, then you're not going to have the result that you want. You're just not. But if you pick up the phone and they say, keep smiling and dialing, and the person can hear your smile, they can hear that you're happy, they
I
can
was
hear
just
that
about to
you're
say,
upbeat. Who doesn't want to be on the phone with somebody like that? And if they
absolutely.
say to you, listen, I've already signed with another realtor, well, if you've already established a relationship with that person, then you're in a very good place to say, how about your friends? How about your neighbors? I am so motivated to
Hmm.
spread this great service. I'd love to talk to someone that that might be looking for a house. I mean, there's all kinds of different
Amazing.
ways of going about it, but the most important things for me were don't be afraid of making the call. Don't be um, don't be afraid of adding value. So you have the first phone call, and then maybe you had to leave a voicemail. Maybe the next time you try to reach them is through a text, or maybe the third time you try to reach them is you call them, but you don't leave a message and you text them instead, so they can see who's calling, and then you leave a
Hmm.
friendly little message, or maybe there's an email in there, or there's whatever it is. The lead will inspire you to do whatever is going to fit for that lead. So if you're getting the sense like this person just doesn't want to talk to me, well, that's okay. So send them a text and then say, listen, I'm here if you need help. I'm all about no pressure. Please let me know what I can do. And then email them once a week with a really cool listing that you think they might like. Oh, saw
Right.
this house. I thought of you. Am I on the right track? Am I getting warm? That kind of a thing. There's lots of different ways to reach out and stay in front of people, but most people, it's true, if they even make the first phone call, they do give up after the first call. The agent
Hmm.
will give up after trying one time, and you can't be the agent that gives up after trying one time. So it's really there's a lot that goes into it, but you just have to find your groove. You just have to find what works for you. And the only way to find that is to be calling enough of the leads on a regular basis.
And then you're
I
gonna
guess
get
that's the
there.
last piece that I would say is you always want to have time scheduled in every single day to follow up with the leads. And if you don't have time to follow up with the leads for a day or two or even a week, make sure that you're investing the time when you get back to the office, because you've been
Hmm.
out showing houses and closing deals, and that's what you want to be doing. But when you get back, make sure you're dedicating, because filling that pipeline is going to be what's going to give you the deal in a month, in two, in three, in four, in 6 months. That's the only way to keep the business coming in
Hmm.
an organized and sort of consistent way, is to continue to work that pipeline. So
Right.
that's the other thing I would say.